on oil and gas production. Here's the exchange.
As a matter of fact, oil production is down 14% this year on federal land, and gas production is down 9%. Why? Because the president cut in half the number of licenses and permits for drilling on federal lands and in federal waters.
Here's what happened. You had a whole bunch of oil companies who had leases on public lands that they weren't using. So what we said was, you can't just sit on this for 10, 20, 30 years. Decide when you want to drill, when you want to produce, when it's most profitable for you. These are public lands. So if you want to drill on public lands, you use it or you lose it.
Okay,
and so what we did was take away those leases, and we are now reletting them so that we can actually make a profit.
And production on government land is down.
No, it isn't.
Production on government land of oil is down 14%, and production on gas is down 9%.
It's just not true.
It's absolutely true.
Now, if you're home watching thinking it's either down 14% or it's not, that's part of the role of Andrea Mitchell, who's out at Hofstra tonight and has been truth squatting to create a new verb. These debates for us this season. Andrea, who's telling the truth here?
Well, oil production did fall by 14% on federal lands, onshore and offshore, Brian. But that was only in 1 year, from 2010 to 2011, and it was largely the result of fallout from the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. But Mr. Obama is right that since he took office, oil production on federal lands is up. In both 2009 and 2010, oil production increased, so even with the 14% drop last year, overall production on federal lands is still up 10.6% since 2008. One other thing, in terms of natural gas production on federal lands is down and has been declining since 2003, according to the Energy Information Administration, mainly because of a decline in offshore natural gas drilling, Brian.
Andrea, another topic early on, and this has come up sporadically during the campaign. What did Mitt Romney say, and when did he say it, about, quote, letting Detroit go bankrupt, more specifically General Motors? The president kind of threw down on that topic tonight.
Well, the president was referring to a newspaper piece that Mitt Romney wrote back in 2008, but the governor never actually said, let Detroit go bankrupt. That was the headline by the newspaper. But what Romney has been saying, that he was in favor of a managed bailout, a managed bankruptcy, where private investors would go in and bail out the auto companies. But the fact is, Mr. Obama is correct about the fact that most people agree private companies were not about to invest in Detroit back then. Only the federal government would. And it's paid off.
The fact-checking will go on overnight into the morning. Andrea Mitchell, part of our team. Andrea, thank you. David Gregory, as we mentioned earlier, the president